James Fetzer, go ahead.
Well, the idea of the perpetual war seems to be necessary to keep the military-industrial complex going. I mean, we didn't derive the peace dividend that should have occurred when the Soviet Union collapsed, but instead we fabricated a phony, elusive, shadowy terrorist force to align ourselves against, where we could conveniently bring about any action anytime we want, any terrorist event. And we have been complicit. Even the FBI has been shown to have been involved in terrorist activities here in the United States. So we're fabricating events in order to justify massive expenditures and to expand the powers of the police state that the United States has become.
Ty Berry, this use of drone by the U.S. president has increased so much that we can't even exclude your own territory. The United States reported that the FAA, I think up to 80 sites, military sites within the U.S. are going to be using drones. Of course, not for strikes, but for what it's meant to do, which is spying. It seems like the president is using drones as a strategy. Tell us the ins and outs of that.
Well, let's get some facts straight. The fact of the matter is that right now, Mr. Shiraz, a lawyer from Islamabad, is filed lawsuits against the CIA, naming CIA director in Pakistan, and this way the United States is trying to avoid this by claiming that we're just starting these signature bombings. The other thing is that right now the Obama administration has called for a law calling the FAA into organizing airspace for 3,000 up to 30,000 drones to be able to be dispersed throughout the United States for use by Homeland Security, police forces, which are biting at the bit to get at this technology. Right now, there's already 200 permits that have been given to we don't know who. The Obama administration is not being transparent in this by any means. Also in Yemen, the President Saleh was exposed by WikiLeaks, who was willing to take the blame for the killings in his own country by his overlords, the CIA and the Obama administration. Look at the book that Medea Benjamin just wrote, Drones, Killing by Remote Control, and you'll find out a lot of the information right now. But what we need to focus on is the fact that we're not going to get rid of these drones. They're going to be here, and they're coming to the United States. The administration is trying to warm the people up to these drones, telling them how good they are and how they're used for forest fires or for helping people in floods and things like this. But the fact of the matter is, they start out as surveillance. They told us these drones were only used for surveillance, and suddenly they were able to mount weapons on them. Soon they'll be able to mount, they've already come up with a way to mount non-lethal weapons on them that will be used against us in the Occupy movement and protesting and others in the United States. We need to get ahead of this technology. Right now the technology is taking us for a ride. This is proliferation that we need to get ahead of, just like we needed to get ahead of the atomic bomb, but we are unable to, and it's being proliferated around the world. We need to get ahead of the drones. They're already in the hands of 50 countries. The #1 producer of drones, the United States. #2, Israel. #3, England.
Gordon Duff, you had something to say, but before you say that, I'd like to really find out from you. You say that Imran Khan maybe is going to be the next president of Pakistan. Pakistan doesn't like these drones. On the surface in the news, they say that. But there's that Bagram Air Base, for example, $1.2 billion tender. It's said to be these robotic intelligence warfare equipment to include the use of drones. Drones are pretty much here to stay in different parts of the world.
Well, I've talked at length with Imran Khan about drones. We've certainly sat down together, gone over the effect they've had in destabilizing Pakistan, which our other speakers have brought out very, very accurately. The fact that drones themselves have caused we're talking about killing militants. Why are people militant? Because drones have killed their families. Yes, everyone who was there wears a beard, everyone has a gun, and once you kill their family with a drone, they're going to be militant, and from that day forward in their lives, they're going to kill Americans. What's behind this, what's always behind this is economics. The issue here, of course, is that we have all of the world's major currencies are in free-fall collapse. We're having a difficult time collateralizing currencies with hydrocarbons, which Iran is one of the countries that depends on hydrocarbons. This is why we're moving toward Africa, because we need to be able to collateralize with diamonds. We need to be able to collateralize currencies with rare earths, which is exist in, let's say, considerably more value and in limited amount of gold. But the issues behind all of these games are economics. And of course, why we have Occupy? Because we have a very small number of people in the world who control all of the assets of the world, and the rest of us are being pushed into police states. We're to live in slavery. We're to live with, exactly as your other speaker had said, drones over our heads, threatening us with non-lethal or less than lethal weapons. And the breakdown of society, we're looking at the edge of it, because society is going to break down when we are no longer able to run the world on counterfeit currencies. When we come to an end, when we're no longer able to go down and buy gasoline and food, it's all going to come apart. And they need this police state mechanism and these technologies so they can control all of us. We, the people, all of us, all of the people of the world, are a potential enemy, and these technologies exist for nothing other than controlling the people of the world as the enemy of... We can't even name who we're being enslaved by. We don't even know.
Right. Let me come to James Fetzer here. James Fetzer, I'm going to go back to the line that the U.S. gave at the beginning of the program. Even if U.S. intelligence cannot